the Cybersecurity and Compliance Podcast with Craig Petronella. Learn about the most current IT security threats in ransomware, phishing, business email compromise, cybercrime tactics, cyber heist schemes, social engineering scams, as well as hints and tips from leading professionals to help you prevent hackers from penetrating your network and dropping ransomware or malware payloads. This podcast will arm you with the best info to defend your network against the latest cyber crimes. And now, here's your host, Craig Petronella.
Go ahead.
Okay. So you're the director of channel sales. Is that right, Ted?
Yes.
Yes,
I believe you.
Okay. I just want to make sure I had that right. All right. So we'll go ahead and start. So welcome to the PTG podcast. Today it is myself, Erin, and we have Craig and Blake. We also have as a special guest, Ted Sanchez from Blueshift. He's the director of channel sales at Blueshift Cybersecurity. And today we're going to discuss the increased threat of cyber warfare now that there's a war over there in Europe with Russia, and discuss steps that you can take to limit your exposure to that. So, Ted, do you want to give us a little bit of your background?
I'm working at Blueshift. I'm the director of channel sales, and Blueshift basically markets a cybersecurity solution that provides an extra layer of protection. We have a managed 24/7 SOC. We alert customers of anything we see, any threats, and we block them. And then we quickly inform the point of contact of any
I'll go a little deeper. So this is Craig.
threats that need to be remediated, that have been blocked.
So I actually found Blueshift and Cygent when I was doing some research around ransomware. And we wanted to have this podcast today because of the huge uptick in ransomware from an adversary like Russia. And there's obviously threats that come from other adversaries as well. But the point is that there's a huge uptick right now. And we went through a proof of concept with the Blueshift XDR technology, and we're very impressed and vetted the solution and deployed it in our own environment as well as our customers, because it's just such a powerful layer of detection at the network layer. It can find lateral movement and malware that may exist on the network, even if it was dormant and just became alive, or if it's a new threat that came through, either a phishing email or any other type of attack vector. But the point is that if you have a unpatched system, if that was an exploit and it came through, the technology has what's called monitoring and blocking capability that integrates seamlessly with the Security Operations Center, or the SOC, that is manned by cybersecurity experts 24/7, that's looking at the data in real time 24/7 to look for unusual activity and things like that before escalation can attack. And in the event that at 3 a.m, when most people are sleeping, the SOC detects something, they can block it then. And when you get to the office, they can then alert you, and you can then, if there's any patches that need to apply or whatnot, then that can be done. But the point is, it's a very powerful, proactive layer in this defense against cyber war. And that's what we wanted to go deeper into today. Yeah, hopefully that's a good overview so far.
Yeah,
That's a great. Oh, I was just going to say that's a great overview, Craig, and we really appreciate having you as a partner, and the fact that you guys are using our solution as well. And we shipped you a cyber threat sensor, and basically I know that you guys installed it within 10 minutes. And what basically that product does is it does data packet level inspections and logging. So we inspect every packet that moves in and out of your network, and then we apply multiple layers of network security to it, including threat intelligence and intrusion detection and prevention, deception, network analysis, and a lot of other securities.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big thing, though, I think the game changer here that a lot of listeners may or may not realize is that they probably have a firewall, they probably have antivirus, but this is a very powerful, fairly new technology that they may or may not know exists and where it fits in their network topology. And that's where I think that the proof of concept or POC methodology that we came up with together is very powerful, because listeners, if they work for a corporation or if they have a small business, or even if they are at home and they're working, if they want to increase their cybersecurity maturity level and get a new perspective and look through a different lens, this proof of concept is super powerful because it puts a sensor at the network layer and gives you visibility that you may not have had before. And like I was saying, you can see the SOC is analyzing these threats in real time. So the end user or the person that is manning doesn't have to be a cybersecurity expert. They leverage the SOC team to do those efforts for them and on their behalf. As it's artificial intelligence and machine learning and algorithms detect these anomalies, it doesn't just tell you, hey, look, you might have something suspicious. It actually blocks it and stops it until further investigation. And I think that's really the game changer there, because there's a lot of stuff that will detect, but there's not a lot of stuff that'll actually stop dead in its tracks. And that's what I like most about it. I love the solution. I definitely don't think that companies need to only have that. Obviously, they need to have other training and other cybersecurity layers in place, but it's certainly a very powerful layer. And I think that as these ransomware attacks increase from adversaries, I think it's going to be an essential component of a company. And like I said, even a worker working at home to protect themselves and protect the company that they work for, it's going to be essential in their cybersecurity stack.
Yep. And also, Craig, we also paired a managed SIEM, as you recall, to the platform, which collects logs from any device, whether it's on the cloud, the network, the server, the endpoint, you name it. And we upload these logs through the threat sensor there, and we can triangulate against it. So if we see something suspicious going on in the packet layer, we can go in and inspect the logs and on a particular endpoint or server to do an investigation.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people may not know what a SIEM is, but basically it's a very powerful tool that aggregates those logs together, just as Ted said. So a lot of the equipment on the network, maybe you guys use Cisco Firewall or Cisco Syslog services, but all these appliances, they log everything. They log what's going in, what's going out. But a lot of people have really never looked at those logs. Obviously, cybersecurity experts have and do, but I would say that it's very rare that I would speculate when I say this, it's very rare that a business owner has ever seen raw log output from some type of network appliance like a firewall or router. So what's powerful about the Blueshift technology, the XDR in particular, is that it is that managed SIEM, an aggregator of all the logs from all your stuff, all your network equipment, and your stack, and then in picking it apart, making sense of it, and having the sensor use its artificial intelligence and algorithms, and then bring it up to the human level too. So if there's some suspicion there, a cybersecurity expert looks at it and, like Ted said, maps it back.
I think too that the reason that this is so important that we're talking about this today in the wake of what is happening over in Russia is that working in cybersecurity, one thing that we have noticed is that a lot of the companies in the DIB, their cybersecurity is just not up to par right now. And to think that there's not the potential threat of an attack, a cyber attack, is really pretty naive. And the thing that is so great about Blueshift is even if they do have eyes on you, if they are in your computer somehow, they're going to be able to see it because of the activity that's going on. They're going to look at that raw data. They're going to analyze it. They're going to be like, something suspicious here. So that, along with, some other layers, like you said, Craig, but especially with this, that can really help not just the business, but national security in general.
Yes. I think one of the powerful things too is that you have to assume the worst, sadly. Assume that you're infected, assume you have malware on your network, but you don't know that it's really there. When you have a technology like this that gives you that depth and visibility, It's very powerful and eye-opening because there's some businesses and some, especially medical clinics and hospitals, they don't have the ability to patch every little thing, and their digital